What is up, YouTube? Jason here, Morph Mixology Reptiles. Welcome back to the channel. It is finally time. Let's talk about the SensorPush wireless monitoring system that we're using here in the snake room. This stuff is killer, and stay tuned. Might have a little bit of something special in store for the end of the video. To the point of this video, SensorPush. If you guys are not on this game yet, you need to be. I reached out to them. They sent me some stuff to try, and I freaking love it. You might hear in the background the counter, the Smurl counter is going crazy. It's constantly updating. 16,888 as of right now. Thank you guys so much. That's on Instagram. Thank you guys so much for all this love and support. I just can't believe it. So, SensorPush, here we go. Super excited about this. This stuff is super cool. Basically, is what you get is a wireless monitoring system for all of your collection, and you can use these things any way you want. The sky's the limit. So, basically, you get two different pieces. You get this thing here, which is what they refer to as the Wi-Fi gateway. It's just a little box. It's plugged into power. You can also, it has Ethernet on the back. So if you have a hardline system for your internet, you can plug it into hardline. Mine's currently on the Wi-Fi. And then you get all of these little, I'll grab this one out of the incubator. You get all of these little sensors, hence the name SensorPush, like this. Just a little tiny, there we go. Just a little square. They're like 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches maybe, something like that. They got a hole in them and a little sensor on the back. You don't want to block that little hole right there. That's for the humidity. And then this hole here actually has nothing in it. It's kind of like a keychain. So all the sensor stuff is here. This piece here you can use to like hang it, you know, if you're going to hang it in a cage or something. So these are what you get. The pairing process is super easy. It's actually kind of funny how it works. When you go to pair a new sensor to your account on your phone, all it does is bring up a picture of an outline of a square in like one of the four corners of your phone, and you just hover that over the top of it and follow it around, and it pairs like through NFC or Bluetooth or something. I'm not really sure how it works, but it works awesome. And then you go ahead and name it, and you can set parameters on highs and lows, temperature and humidity. They are, by the way, I understand that they're coming out with fully waterproof sensors very soon. So if you needed, for say, an aquarium, or let's say you had like a crocodilian or an amphibian, something like that, instead of just regular snakes or whatever, and you wanted to know that the water in the basin is the right temperature, that's coming. So I hear. So keep an eye out for that for sure. Anyway, so you set them up, put a name on it, put a parameters for heat and temperature, and that's it. And then you can actually tell it whether or not you want it to alert you if those temperatures are or parameters are outside of the limits. I get notifications on my watch and my phone. I use iOS. It does work on Android as well. And man, it's that simple. It's super cool. So here's how I am currently using it. I'm probably going to end up with some more sensors later on the road. My understanding is there is no limit to the number of sensors you can add to each gateway. So that's kind of cool. But basically, here's how I've got mine set up. So you guys all know the incubator. You've seen it 100 times. So I've got one right in the middle, which happens to be directly above my probe. And so that one is set up. Here, I'll pull out my phone. We'll check it out real quick. That one is set up to monitor the incubator. So we'll go to the phone here. See, I just got an alert. Incubator humidity level below limit of 50% at 12:08. That's because I just opened the door. And my water basins are on a little bit low, so I'll have to update that or fill that up. So we'll go through here. So incubator, it's currently at 89.4. The thermostat up here, you can read it with all my PVC in the way. It is set to 89.5. So that tells me my incubator's or my thermostat's accurate. And currently at 47.2% humidity again, because I just opened the door. It says daily average 90 degrees, 61%. Perfect. I've also got one in, you can kind of barely see it there, in the egg box right there. So when I went to these new boxes, I wanted, and to the vermiculite setup instead of the perlite, I put a monitor in here, and I have not touched this box like I did the other ones. And now if you go on the app, egg box, 89.6 inside, right where I want it. It says 107.7% humidity. That's why it looks like it's raining. It is possible to have greater than 100% humidity as far as relative humidity is concerned, but that's when condensation and rain forms. So it's not quite that high, I don't think. I think the back of the sensor is actually wet, and so it reads a little higher, but it does tell me that that box, if I go back and look, let me see if I can find it. If I go back and look at the history of it, this is kind of cool. It shows you, so I'll show you here. So if you click on each one, so we'll click on egg box, so you can see kind of a history, and don't be too concerned about those spikes. That's a maximum of 89.6 and a minimum of 89.6, so the spikes are irrelevant as far as the temperature is concerned. That's not a huge swing. But yeah, you can go back and see, like over the last month, for instance, pretty steady temperatures. 88.1 was the minimum it dropped off to, and 90.1 is the max. So I've had a total of 2 degrees of swing over the last month, and min and max average of 100% humidity over the last month. So it says right here 88.1 to 90.1 and 100 to 107, I think it was. So that's pretty cool. And you can monitor all that stuff. So it's telling me that my egg boxes are working great, the vermiculite's working great, the temperature and humidity are on point. So that's 2 of the sensors. One monitoring the incubator, one monitoring the box itself, and I get the alerts. That way, let's say I check on these or something and the door doesn't close all the way, or my cat gets in here and moves it or something. As the temperature of the incubator drops, I'll get an alert on my phone. It'll say it's below the limit, which is unusual because you just saw the consistency, and I can call somebody or run home or whatever and check it. So I love that. I also have one in this cage over here. Update on this. I told you last week we were having issues with this project, and I think I'm just gonna pull the plug on it. I don't need to get into it. There's no discussions that need to be had. I'm just pulling the plug. It's becoming more of a hassle than it's worth. Plus there's possibility that we might be moving before too long, and this entire project needs to be postponed in case that does happen, because it's going to make my life a lot easier. So for the time being, again, if you don't follow on Instagram, you might not know this. Check out this clip. And this one. Yeah. That's our girl, Sabrina, the coastal carpet python, cruising around my snake room at 3 and 4 in the morning. So I came in here, it's pretty funny, I came in here the other day around 11, first time I'd been in the room for the day, and I noticed when I walked in, the very first thing I noticed was I used to have a skull one of those tank decoration skulls on top of my racks, just a little decoration. And it was on the ground. In fact, here's a piece of it. And I was like, well, that's kind of odd. And then I looked over here, again, don't mind the mess. I looked over here on my bench, and at the time I had 5 shipping boxes because we shipped a bunch of stuff to some customers. Thank you, by the way, for all of your awesome support. And the boxes were tipped over. And I'm like, oh, here's part of the skull again. See? It's all broke, obviously. So I was like, that's really weird. So that's not right. So I went to my cameras, which this is not a video about the cameras. I can do that later if you want. But I have one there, and I have one in that corner by the hatchling racks. And I went and watched those cameras, and that's the clip you just saw. And somehow from, I guess it was sometime before 3 a.m., I just recently moved Sabrina up to one of the 41 quart sterilites because she's getting a lot longer. I do want to put her in an enclosure at some point with some height and climbing and stuff like that. But I just recently moved her to here, and I think is what the issue is. You can kind of see, I'll show you here on the top. So all of my racks are open-sided, or these big ones anyway. And these sterilite tubs are kind of soft. So I think she might have got out like that, maybe? I don't really know. It's kind of hard to tell. So either way, we found her in the closet. And since this project that I never told you what it was going to be never happened, we're going to put Miss Sabrina in here for now. She's in the back at the moment. This is a very, very temporary setup. Here, I'll open it. That's actually the little climbing perch I made her for her height, or for her tub, but very temporary setup. There she is in the back, Miss Sabrina. But she can't get out of here, obviously, which is nice. And I can see her while I'm out and about in the snake room, which is kind of fun. Like I said, she'll end up in an enclosure anyway down the line. But since she's in there, I went ahead and added, so you can get rid of the glare, a SensorPush sensor in the corner. And this is on the cool side. I move it around occasionally just to see. The humidity seems to be running a little bit high, but I think that's again because of it was knocked over and it was in the bedding and whatnot. But occasionally I'll just change it around. I'll move it. I'll go from the cool side and I'll put it over here in the warm side next to the big water basin to check the humidity, you know, whole 9 yards. So that's the other way. So I've got, back to the whole story. I started this rambling on here. One in the incubator, one in the egg box, one in now Sabrina's cage for the time being. And this is the other one that kind of started the whole thing. In the rodent room, there is one up here. I just hit it up on top of one of these pieces of wood. So I've got an Accurite right here to monitor temps and humidity. And then I also, with that sensor up there, you can see rat room, 69.5, 46.2% humidity. The Accurite, 68, 44% humidity. So not only does that tell me that my Accurite is fairly accurate, ironically, but I can monitor this. And as we come into the winter season, since I run a lot of exhaust out of here, this room definitely stays cooler in the basement, which is better for the rats anyway. I can monitor this as we start using the house heater and having the window open and make sure everything is the way it's supposed to be. Alright, so I'm sorry if this video's run on longer than it should have, and the light's probably all screwed up because I'm just doing this kind of on the fly here. But yeah, simple answer is I love this SensorPush stuff. It's working amazingly. It's so nice to just be like at work or whatever, get a quick message that says, hey, this one is not within the parameters that you set. Go check it, whatever the case may be. I love it. I'm probably gonna get a couple more. I want one, actually once this clutch comes out this weekend, I'll probably take that one and rename it to the snake room, and I'll put it up on one of my racks so that it's in conjunction with my Accurite, so I can monitor the room itself, especially going into winter again. When the heater starts running, the space here might not need to as much, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, I'm gonna do that, and then as I build more enclosures for some of the other animals, probably have a couple in there because there'll be slightly different environments for each. But I got a surprise for you guys for sticking with me this long for this video, and that is that SensorPush reached out to me and said, hey, let's hook up one of your awesome subscribers and supporters. So I have a Wi-Fi gateway, brand new in the box, never been opened, and I have not one but two of the sensors. So this could set you up for a snake room and your incubator, or an enclosure and a rack, whatever the case you may be. I don't care how you use them. I just want to give back to you guys a little bit for being so awesome with us this past season, and the last year on the channel. And SensorPush wanted to help out. They've been fantastic. So again, they sent me a Wi-Fi gateway and two sensors, and we're going to give them away to one of you lucky subscribers. So here's the deal. I've done a giveaway before on the channel. I know not everybody has Instagram, but most do. I'm not going to make that a guaranteed requirement, as if you don't have an Instagram, you can't follow me and SensorPush. So that's not a huge deal. I appreciate it if you do. So step one, if you have Instagram, make sure you follow Morph Mixology and SensorPush on Instagram. Give them some love and support. They've been fantastic with us and doing this giveaway. So make sure you check them out. Instagram, Morph Mixology and SensorPush. And then the big one for the giveaway is head down in the comment section and put in a comment on what the main use is that you're gonna have for this system. The one wireless gateway and the two sensors. What's your main plan? How would you use it for your current setup? Down in the comments, make that your comment, and we will go through the random comment picker, which is pretty much the easiest and most fair way to do that, and select one of those comments at random, and I'll send out the care package here from SensorPush. We're going to run the contest, let's say, basically the month of October. September is basically over. So we're coming into the holiday season. We'll make it part of the holidays, so to speak. I'll tell you what, we'll do October 31st, Halloween. Perfect. I'll have a video going up on Halloween anyway, since it's a Thursday. So I doubt it'll be a Halloween themed video. Don't get any crazy ideas, but we'll do a video. It'll go live on Halloween. So at 6 o'clock, or excuse me, at 5 o'clock Pacific time on Thursday the 31st. So I'm gonna I'm gonna turn off the comments for this video on midnight, between the 30th and 31st, midnight on the 30th. And then that way, when I make the video on the 31st, I can do the random comment picker from now until then and let you guys win. So just a quick recap. Instagram, if you have it, Morph Mixology and SensorPush, make sure you're following both of us over there, and then head down the comments, simple comment on how you are going to implement this system into your setup at home, and the comments will run from the time this video goes live on September 26th to October 30th at midnight. And then the video that goes up on the 31st of October will have the random comment picker. I'll do it all on camera, so it's all legit, and we'll have a winner at that point, and we'll get you out a setup from SensorPush. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me and putting up with these long videos, because I like to talk. The breaks between videos I really appreciate. Season 2 2020 is started officially. We're in a little bit early, but not by a long shot from last year, and I still have a clutch in the incubator. So We're really not that early, but the weather's starting to favor pairing around here, so we're gonna get going. Off to a great start. I'm really excited about the projects coming ahead. New stuff that you didn't see last year, so stay tuned for that. Might be moving, not anytime soon. It'll be after the first of the year, but I'll keep you posted if that seems to be a likely occurrence. Like I said, project in that enclosure over there, it's not gonna happen. So Sabrina gets to hang out there for now until we get the other setups I want for the snakes we already have. And I'll bring you along for all of that, of course. Thank you everybody that has purchased a snake from us. We're down to about 8 or 10 still that are available. And then we're gonna be good to go. So if there's anything you like, head over to morphmixology.com/available. Check out what we've got. And I will see all of you guys in the next video. Don't forget to follow on Instagram, comment down below. Let's give away this SensorPush setup. And thank you to SensorPush for supporting the channel and this video. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.